Alright, episode 29, the Basement of Horrors episode, our first one. I'm going to be talking about slutty Halloween costumes. Talk about my friend Tut here, who's a handsome, handsome man. Tentpole movies, and a whole lot more. So, like, subscribe, do what you gotta do. See you on the other side.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
This is the other podcast, and this is Corey.
That was by far the worst one yet. Good afternoon, everybody.
I wouldn't mind a second take because I did say podcast incorrectly.
Do you want to do it again?
Nah.
Well, by the way,
I'll just leave it.
Ebola is trending, by the way. Jesus.
Mm.
Anyway. Good afternoon, everybody.
Well, now that New York is
infected.
Is infected, all of New York.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's all blown out of proportion.
Not many people live there, so it's okay.
It's totally okay. And if you listen to last week's podcast, or the Spotlight from episode 28,
yeah,
you'll find out all about Ebola.
But speaking of things that are coming, it's Halloween, or coming up on Halloween, so
Yeah.
If you haven't bought your slutty nurse outfit yet,
Yes.
then feel free to do so.
Anyway, but I mean, that $200 GoPro will do the job.
Yeah.
You will look at it and say, oh my God, I have nothing to work with here. But
Right.
for me, I will look at it and say, I just shot a video. What's it matter?
I'll just borrow Laura's.
What does she have? What does she have, the 3?
Yeah, Hero 3 Black.
What's the difference? Is it the frame rate? Is it the quality?
Well, you can get 4K on the Black.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
4K is 4 times the resolution of a standard 1080p television.
So when I watch it on my 1080p, am I going to know a difference?
Yes,
Why?
because it will actually have more pixels. It won't be as clear as if you watched it on a 4K TV, which would be optimal.
Let's just assume I'm a normal person. Will I notice the difference?
Probably not.
Okay,
You know what we need to do? We need to, when we start having guests,
Mm-hmm. Well, we need to start having guests.
famous people,
Yes.
we'll come up with like a really stupid thing for them to say at the end of the episode and say that it's our catchphrase at the end.
Because you know they're not listening.
Right,
They
like
don't
they don't
listen
listen
every
every week. So we'll just be like, at the end of every episode we say, I'm a shithead. And it's basically a way of letting everybody know that you're not better than anybody else, and
Yeah,
as
I'm
long
just
as you
the
put the work in, then you're going to be okay. So we end every episode with I'm a shithead. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you wouldn't mind, I am a shithead.
I am a shithead.
Thank you, Arnold. I appreciate that.
God, I hope we are taking interviews in a time in which Arnold Schwarzenegger is still relevant to anything at all.
You'd think we're
Like the next 6 months
40 years from now, the Anthem podcast finally has Arnold on it. He's an old man. Back in my day.
No, he's just devolved back to the Austrian.
Yeah.
He's speaking Austrian and doesn't realize that it's not English.
By the way, went to the movies yesterday with my father.
Right.
Yesterday.
Wait. Who'd you go with?
Yesterday, as of the time of this recording, and we saw John Wick.
Right.
And it was phenomenal, and everyone should go see it.
And
by phenomenal, I mean like it's not a good movie, but it's a very good movie.
Nice.
But what I loved about John Wick was they did an old standby that I haven't seen probably in 20 years.
Yeah.
Where they don't develop the character at all. They don't give you any kind of like background. They don't spend.
You're in the movie.
They don't have somebody whose sole job is exposition.
Right.
To like go like, well, John Wick was one of the best killers that the mafia ever had.
The old guy?
Yeah, the old guy.
We're trying to figure out who this John Wick guy is.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you the story.
Right. Let me tell you about all the things that John Wick did.
Right.
What they did instead was, let me tell you about a long story about John Wick.
If you need to go to the bathroom, now's the time.
Now's the time. Don't worry, I won't ruin the movie. Just take the bathroom break. I'm giving you the... Man, they're breaking the fourth wall. What exits
are located in the rear of the theater and in the
possibly to the front.
To the front. You're just going to want to look for your
It varies from theater to theater.
Hurry back. Set your timers. 2 minutes, 40 seconds.
That's how long I'm going to be talking about the long storied history of John Wick. Now what I like is
We're gonna raise the lights.
if you want to talk to your neighbor, now's the time.
Unless you're with you in the theater.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the one person with the lights on and everybody talking. I'd be like, "Shut up! Shut up, everybody!
I'm watching
it." We're getting valuable exposition about John Wick.
The director had a reason for this. It's not in the movie for no reason. Shut up.
No, it reminds me of Austin Powers. Just one of the best movie jokes ever. Having the character named Basil Exposition.
Who explains everything.
Yeah. No, but what was so great about John Wick? This one thing that I haven't seen probably in 20 years. And it works. In a movie like this, it works so well. It's kind of shocking that it doesn't happen more often. Where one character will just be like, "Well, you anchored John Wick," and then the other character slow turn towards the camera, pulling in close on him, going like, "John Wick,"
Right.
Just the
So
reaction. Yeah, we know immediately by the reaction of one character that John Wick is a badass, and you've angered John Wick, and bad things will happen because John Wick is angry.
I wanted to touch on something that I guess we really only touched on last week, which was Canton coming to the rescue of EPZ.
And let me tell you this story. So, I go to play kickball on Thursday, like I do every Thursday. And of course, with kickball comes boozing. So we went to the bar afterwards. And I am just drinking with my team in the bar. No big deal. So some motherfucker reaches in. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So some motherfucker reaches into the bar, snatches my purse off the skee-ball table in the bar, which the game wasn't in play, so it was allowed. Before I even realized what happened, someone had already seen this go down. A friendly neighbor across the street called 911 after they saw these thugs steal my purse. So I look around to all my friends thinking that someone's playing a joke on me. Like, who has my purse? Come on, this isn't funny. And they're like, no one's been walking through here. And the bar is pretty small, so I think you would have seen if somebody walked through and snatched it. So I look at the bartender and say, I think my purse just got stolen. And he goes, oh, don't worry. Somebody has already called the cops, and somebody is chasing them down to retrieve your purse. So I'm already white girl wasted. I'm like, what is going on here? So I walk outside. Friendly lady across the street on the phone with the police says, oh, we have the victim right here. I'm like, oh, great. I'm a victim now. Mind blown. So, so she says, my husband is chasing them down. We saw it all go down. It was 3 guys, and he's running down to Patterson Park to get your purse. So, mind blown, because I didn't even realize that my purse was gone in the first place. And all of this has transpired before I even realized that a crime had occurred. 2 minutes later, her half-naked husband comes walking back up the street, baseball bat in hand, purse in the other hand. He's like, I got it. And I'm like, what? So, gives me my purse, cell phone there, car keys still there. So I'm on cloud 9, because at first I'm thinking well, how am I going to get home? How am I going to pay for an Uber? What am I going to do? How am I going to call anybody? I don't even have my cell phone. So that made me happy. And they did make off with my wallet at that point in time. So I kind of, I guess I was expected, but I was happy that I got my car keys and my phone back. Fast forward 12 hours to the next morning when I'm waking up feeling like ass because everybody bought me shots and drinks after the whole event occurred, and we bought drinks for these neighbors across the street that were so kind to, have taken justice into their own hands. Next morning, I get a number of messages off of Facebook because apparently a friendly runner saw my wallet in Patterson Park and put it on the Canton Neighbors Facebook page to say, does anybody know EPZ? And a couple people that I knew from different avenues, a person that I haven't known or haven't spoken to since high school, And then one of my coworkers messaged me saying, hey, did you lose your wallet last night? So 12 hours later, reconnected with the lady who found my wallet, and all the contents were still in it. So, to sum it all up, I got my purse stolen, my phone stolen, my car keys stolen, my wallet stolen, and I got them all back within 12 hours because the people of Canton are very friendly and apparently want to keep a nice crime-free neighborhood, and they're taking justice back into their own hands. And I thought it was really inspiring and really sweet. So that's my story about that. Boom.
So I have to say, bravo to you, citizens of Canton,
Absolutely.
for standing up.
Now, here's the thing that upsets me. I mean, everybody looks at this and they should and say, look how great this is. Look at Baltimore standing up for Baltimoreans and policing themselves. But why can't we not extrapolate that outward? Well, if we are willing to defend one poor little girl who lost her purse, why can't we do something more and stand up for ourselves on a greater? And I mean, but then I take that jump and everybody's like, whoa. This is a one purse thief and a neighborhood, not talking about something great. But I mean, it stands for the same thing. I love seeing the community come together. I wish it wasn't necessary.
Obviously no, but wherever people live and breathe, there will be crime, and it just eventually comes.
I don't believe that that's true.
You don't think there are some people who will just commit crime regardless?
I don't think
there's nowhere in America where it's like safe. I mean, it's safe, but I mean, like you can't, because where you find neighborhoods with zero crime, where there's zero poverty. Poverty and crime are intertwined. We have to when we get rid of one, the other one will become null and void too. There will always be crazy people. Listen, even in neighborhoods that have zero crime, they have moms stealing from stores to feed some sort of high for themselves. Yeah, like get the thrill of stealing.
Right. And that stuff, you're right, you can never undo. But when a guy takes a wallet with a phone in it from a bar, like 9 times out of 10, that guy is doing one of two things with that money. He's either buying heroin in Baltimore City. He's buying heroin, or he's buying food. Either he's so poor that he can't afford to survive, or he's got a huge drug problem that needs to be addressed. If we address poverty, both of those things get fixed.
Anyway, topic of the week. It's about time we
get around to it. Yeah.
Halloween.
Yay!
And I don't know what you're wearing. Right. I don't know what you're wearing on Halloween. I don't know what you're wearing right now. But if you wanna send pictures and send them to Rob, feel free.
Instagram at Robert and Cheek. Snapchat at Robert and Cheek.
Yeah. He'll find a way to screenshot and
Facebook
show me.
At Robert and Cheek.
Yeah. Anyway.
So we forgot this is the basement of horrors.
Yeah, basement of horrors 1. That'll be the episode title.
Because we, much like The Simpsons, are going to have 25 consecutive years of Halloween shows.
Oh, thank God. Anyway.
That's Halloween.
Rob's got a great Halloween voice.
I know, right?
Great Halloween laugh.
Yeah.
To be fair, it is his normal laugh, though.
It really is.
Anywho.
I'm just evil.
I want to get into a little bit of Halloween fun with you.
Okay.
But first, I wanted to bring up a story. I don't know how many of you people are thinking about dressing up like Tutankamun for this Halloween.
How many of you people?
How many of the people listening to my voice right now are planning on dressing up like Tutankamun?
A lot, I would say.
The boy king.
Right, yes.
Guess what? Fucking, apparently, King Tut, legendary pharaoh, had clubfoot.
Okay.
Had wide childbearing hips.
Right.
Buck teeth. Looked like an asshole.
A little bit, yeah.
And basically looks like somebody you wouldn't respect.
Right.
Basically.
Well, here's what I'll say. Probably accurate. Generations of inbreeding. That happens.
Probably accurate. Yeah. But I just prefer. What's the point at this stage in the game? What is the point of ruining Tut for me?
You don't have a scientific mind. That's the point.
I just don't like the fact that if I choose to dress up like Tut, then I will get made fun of for not walking around with a club foot and a cane and childbearing hips.
Well, you already have the childbearing hips. I'm not sure that anybody would know, because it's one of those things that, like, Okay, so dinosaurs.
Yeah.
You know what a stegosaurus is?
Yeah.
And a tyrannosaurus.
Mm-hmm.
There is more time between those two dinosaurs than there is between us and a tyrannosaurus.
Yeah.
But they're commonly shown together.
Right.
Even though they never existed.
Well, there's still people who think that, Jesus rode around on dinosaurs, so. Seems like something I would have watched on an episode of Here Comes Honey Boo Boo before it got canceled.
Oh.
Mm.
What is it about you and like to reference child molesters? Ryan Flaherty molesting that poor boy in Detroit?
That was an Adrian Peterson joke. I stand by that.
And
it was very
boo-boo with the child molestation.
I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. I care so little about Honey Boo Boo and her clan as it is.
Thank God it's over. Honestly.
I feel like I'm the only person who ever looked at her and said, I don't get it.
Because they all look kind of androgynous. Little girls look like little boys. They're all just androgynous. Did you ever know the little kid in your neighborhood who had, like, the boy who had long hair? And then, like, you weren't sure whether it was Sarah from 220 or Jake from 226? Because they both are blondes, kind of androgynous, and from behind they both had the same length hair.
No, but, I mean, like, so, when was it that I first started, like, noticing girls? I guess I sort of
College.
I feel like I had, like, a casual understanding of liking girls in, like, 5th grade.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do.
And you didn't know why?
I didn't know why. I didn't know if there was anything to do.
Right.
I just knew that, like, there's Sarah, and I really got a thing for her.
4th grade, Miss Wood's class. I was in incoming transfer. The first day of school, she was wearing this gorgeous little dress that was multicolored with bows on the shoulders and a bow up front and the matching bow in her hair. And I was like, I don't know why, but I would slaughter every man in this class to sit next to you. Not really, but you have that, like, I want to start fighting
Not even
people.
the least bit depressing.
I want to start fighting people, and I don't know, like, I'm going to try and, like, I raise my hand, I get an answer, Miss Wood gives me a Tootsie Roll, and I look at her, and I hand her the Tootsie Roll. Like that, like,
yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why I'm doing this, but this is what I want to do.
Did you ever do, like, the pulling of the hair and the, like...
I was never, no, but see, and we were just talking upstairs about this before, but I was never the get the girl's attention. I was the, like, or I was never the active attention person.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to do what I do. And when you take notice of me, I'm gonna put you on notice that I notice you too. So
I do remember when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I was like 5 or 6 years separated from the last time I had seen my crush Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
I decided that I was gonna finally. Now it was kind of more appropriate. People are going on dates and stuff like that. 15, 16. Now would be the time to call her and see if she wanted to do something.
Yeah.
But I hadn't talked to her in 5 or 6 years, so I just called her number from the old directory, school directory.
Was it right? No, it was a parent's house, I guess. Right?
It was the parent's house.
Yeah.
I was just like, is Sarah there? He's just like, yeah, who's this? Corey. And then it was the very uncomfortable conversation of like, hey, Sarah, it's Corey. Do you remember me from Pinewood? A little bit. Well, I just thought I'd randomly call you and see if you wanted to go out this weekend.
Now, had you seen her before this?
No.
You just got the idea to call her?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's not like I ran into her that weekend and like
out of the blue.
Just out of the blue decided I'm going to call her and see if she wants to go out.
Did you guys go out?
No.
Oh.
No, that was very creepy of me.
Yeah, it was. So Corey's been creepy since the beginning.
But it's a heart of gold creep, I would like to say.
Right. It's one of those things that, like, if she liked you, super romantic.
Right.
Doesn't like you, super creepy.
Yeah. If she had a crush on me, like I had a crush on her, then it would have been on. But since we're going back down memory lane and we're trying to talk about Halloween,
yeah.
What was your favorite Halloween costume?
You remember those old mask faces where it was like full plastic and you had like a little hole to breathe and a little hole to see? I remember those slightly. But then it got to a point where we stopped doing it because it was against.
I feel like every year when I was a child, I dressed up like, Batman or Superman or Ninja Turtles or something like that. I know there's a picture of me as Batman,
right,
around there somewhere.
Now, was it the plastic mask?
Yeah. Okay, plastic Batman face.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm doing the pose like with the cape up again. Yeah.
So growing up, I didn't really do trick or treating.
I haven't really dressed up for Halloween in some time.
And that's what I was gonna say. When I was little, we did, and then I didn't do anything, and then I did Jesus a couple years, and then I started doing the Hell House. We did Hell House instead when I was in the youth group, and then it was like costume, but it was you walk through and we show how you're gonna be horrible. And then at college, I was gonna ask you about college.
Yeah.
Because college again, then we got back into dressing up for Halloween. I don't know that you did.
I can't remember dressing up much for Halloween.
I only remember one.
I know I dressed up like a biker.
Yeah.
Because that picture of me and Megan when we went to the village is on Facebook. So you can find that one easily.
Well, I dressed up as my favorite costume ever. My favorite Halloween. One of my favorite Halloweens ever. Other than trick-or-treating with a kid. And fuck, I'm going to get very emotional about that later. I mean, now that I'm remembering that.
Yeah, now that you're thinking about it. Now that it's in your brain pan.
Yeah, so I went to a bar way off campus, and Mark coincidentally dressed up as a cow, and I dressed up as a redneck, and we didn't know. So we go, and we're drinking, and Ron dressed up as a pimp, and he was flirting with the owner, who was gay, but we didn't know it. So he thought he was just being a bro, but he was actually flirting. And we got free champagne all night long and tequila shots, and it was bad news bears. We got there early, we trick-or-treated, so we ate chocolate, then champagne, then tequila. This ends up with brown vomit down both sides of my white Jeep. And
I remember that. Yeah.
So then, also, Mark was in the very, very back in the tailgate, and he's like, pull it over! So I pull over to the far left side of 495.
Yeah.
I get out and pop the tailgate. He pushes me out of the way, and then instead of going to his left off the highway, he runs across 4 lanes of traffic and dives down the embankment.
Yeah.
Then I got him back up in the car, and we got home. But then the next morning, I walked out, and like both sides of my car are just chocolate, champagne, tequila mess. It was not good at all. But it gives you a crazy, interesting story.
I think the idea of Halloween is mostly about the liberation of a costume.
Well, it was in college.
Anyway, so I guess happy Halloween.
Yeah.
Unless you're King Tut. It's been ruined for you.
It has. But he's undead, so he's, mummy zombie.
Somewhere up there, a rugged, handsome King Tut is looking down, going like, what the fuck?
Or,
what the fuck?
Or,
yeah,
he's like, dur, 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 and he doesn't really even know. But anyway.
No, but
so
I hope everybody except for King Tut has a happy Halloween.
All our college girls.
If you're wearing something super slutty and you want to share it with Rob.
At Robert and Cheek on Snapchat. At Robert and Cheek on Instagram. You can direct message me. You don't have to tag me. But to all our college listeners, slut it up because that's what this day is for. To everybody who has kids, I'm sorry I just said that, and you could totally send us pictures of your babies too because.
And for any kids that are listening.
Yeah.
Please enjoy the candy.
Oh, just do it.
Enjoy it now.
Well, you got that metabolism firing.
Yeah.
So.
Anywho, Oh the Anthem can be found at ohtheanthem.com, Corey at ohtheanthem.com, Oh the Anthem on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Vimeo, YouTube. Subscribe.
And you can, of course, find me at all the stuff I've already said, at Robert and Cheek everywhere, except for Facebook, which is at Rob Cheek Esquire, at deaddrop.com, foundingthefuture.us, and coming soon, the Movement Insurrection. .com, I think, but go through foundingthefuture.us, you can find us there. So, as always, thank you for listening. You've been listening to the Oh the Anthem podcast, part of the Oh the Anthem digital network. So, for Corey, this is Rob. We can do that. For Corey. And now we're back. For Corey, this is Rob. Have a great week, everybody.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
So that's it, the spotlight for episode 29. Thank you for joining us once again this week. Make sure you check out our other videos, the full episode that's released every Tuesday, and the very first Oh the Anthem video, The Lights of Baltimore. Before you go, make sure you hit subscribe, and as always, you've been listening to the Oh the Anthem podcast, part of the Oh the Anthem digital network.